Welcome back. I'm going to try to play the Vinh-Bot one more time. Not one more time, but one more time on this video. It has given me the white pieces, so let's see what we can do. Normal response to d4. I'm pretty sure in that the engine says that e4 is my best. No, not here, because of the knight. Okay. No, it's when they play d6 that e4 is my best response. Okay, here, I don't remember. Is it c4? I'm not comfortable with c4 positions because I'm still not good at dealing with that. So, let's do this first, which protects both e4 and c4. Okay, they've played d5. Now I can play c4, I think. Let's see what happens. c5. All right. I can take one of Vin's center pawns, but then Vin can take one of my center pawns. So, what's the best play here? I think it's just to take. And now I can, well, my center pawn, my d pawn is still protected. But now I can go ahead and play e3 and get ready to get this bishop out. Okay. Let's go ahead and, should I pin that or should I just put it in this normal London position? I think if I do that, doesn't Vin just come forward? Or should I just play to e2? Bishop to e2 so I can castle? This is frustrating because I get locked up. Maybe I should play e4 next time as my opening, since I really have no idea what I'm doing with it. That's one thing that I've learned as I continue to play and study chess, is that no matter what opening I play, it turns out I don't understand it at all. That's what I thought. I think now I can go here maybe. Maybe I should have played b3 first. Okay, well, that's not that much of a problem. And now I can't play b3 because then this pawn comes forward. Well, that wouldn't be horrible. I could always put the knight back there. I'm going to go ahead and castle, however. Okay, Vin is lining up over here, I guess. Or just developing a bishop and preparing to castle. But regardless, I've got to keep an eye out for that. Especially if he puts his queen here. And I don't have one of those positions like I see in the puzzles. Just so we're clear. Because even if Vin puts his knight here and I take to lose my queen, I don't have that thing, because even though the c-pawn is out of the way, in that instance, this bishop is out, so the king could just move out of check. If you don't know what puzzle situation I'm talking about, I have a couple of videos that have addressed that puzzle position versus game position, I think, but it's similar because of that. Also, I think in that situation, this knight needs to be up here someplace, or something like that. Okay. Still, I would like to get my queen out of this pin. But I also like the idea of advancing e4 after I move this rook. So maybe I just need to do some careful repositioning here. Also, if I move this rook, then if I want to, I can put this knight back here. But that's mainly what I'm thinking about. Okay. He has a pawn on that, a knight on that, whereas I have one, two, three pieces guarding that. So I think it's time to push e4, correct? And his e-pawn is gone. I'm going to do it. There we go. And now I can fork these two pieces, if I'm not mistaken. I can also just take that pawn, but then he takes back. I'm going to fork the two pieces and hope for the best. I kind of saw that coming, but this just adds another guard to my pawn, I think. Or should I put my queen there? I don't know. I'm going to take back with the knight, which is the whole reason I put it there in the first place. Okay. Is that directly threatening anything? Not really. So I'm going to go ahead and take the bishop, because they can't pull something where they put me in check and then take my queen, I think. If I take the bishop, I can do this, but I can just take it. So, okay. So I'm up a full piece. Now, my challenge then is to not give away that advantage. And I'm not sure exactly how to not give away that advantage. And I don't think this really counts as a pin, because that rook is protected, so this knight can go wherever it wants. I also don't really want to take it, because now that the position is starting to open, I don't want to trade off my bishops for knights. Although, being up a piece, I'm just up a full piece, maybe starting to trade down would be a good idea. But I don't think that would be the best place to do it, just because there is this pawn that once it takes, then it's threatening the knight, then I have to move the knight. Maybe I should move the knight first. Let's see, captures, 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 and I just lose a pawn that way. And I can't really, I guess I could go here first. Get this bishop off the back rank, maybe. Not sure exactly. Obviously, I have a few different choices, and I don't know what's best. I know I don't want to move my queen right now. Either one of those is not good due to the knight and the placement of the rook. I don't think that has any real advantage to it. Although that does kind of pin the knight to the rook. And that wouldn't help. So I think I am, but that doesn't really help me as much as moving this bishop. Okay, I'm doing that. All right. Now is it time to try something with this pawn? No, because this pawn is guarding this important square from that knight, I think. Okay. I wouldn't mind trading off right here for this knight. Because again, I don't think I want to trade this right now. I like having both my bishops for the time being. So I'm going to try that and see what happens. Okay, I did not expect that. But now if I take the knight, they kind of get a fortress here with these three pawns. Okay, not bad. I'm probably overthinking this. Vin has probably already blundered something besides that bishop that I got. But yeah, that doesn't do as much as I would like. Although it does block his own rook. But I think if we did this and then he captured back with the pawn, because of my bishop, I don't think he'll capture back with the rook. But if he captures back with his pawn, then it doesn't really block his rook. His rook just comes back to the f-file and has a stray shot down here. So I'm wondering if I shouldn't start pushing one of these flank pawns and attack on the queen side. Also wondering, I just now saw this, I very often miss the queen to h5 and a4 diagonals. But that's a mate threat, is it not? And then what happens when Vinh puts this pawn forward? I don't think... then I go there. And then what do I have? Vinh has to move over. And I don't have a lot. Because I can get here, that's a mate threat, but it's easily parried. Not only with that pawn, but also with the queen. But I'm assuming pawn first. And then even if I did get this check in, that forces the king over, but then my knight is still hanging. But then I can bring my queen back, and that pawn is pinned, and I'm threatening this fork. So I'm going to try that. Probably bad. Well, there's that. I did not think that's also one way to get rid of the mate threat. Okay. That does, however, leave this pawn and this knight hanging, and leaves me to wonder which one to take. This is a bad, I think, because I would end up getting my bishop and my queen forked. What happens if I just take the knight with either one of these pieces? If I take with the bishop, that leaves me open to this, but that piece is protected by the other rook. So I like that, I think. I also, because they don't have a bishop, I don't think I'm in danger of a mate here just yet. So I'm going to try this. Okay, kind of thought that would happen. I'm in check, so I have to do that, I think. All right. Again, that falls prey to the... Oh, well, in this case, the rook would just take it, because the rook has moved over. But even if the rook wasn't there and I put my bishop here, I think that pawn would just try to fork my queen and bishop. So... No, that's not good because of the knight. Okay. However, what about this? Because that's protected. If they... I'm still up a piece, right? I'm up a minor piece. No other piece can capture there except the rook. And if the rook captured, I would have it. And it won't be able to move. So what would Vinh do if I put my rook right there? Keeping in mind that my king's then in a little bit of a soft spot at that point. Maybe I shouldn't do that just yet then. I still want that pawn to be out of the way. Is there another way to get that pawn out of the way? Not really. What attacks can I do here? Nothing. That is bad. It just loses a bishop. I'm going to go ahead and put my rook down there. Okay. They took my pawn. The queen is guarding that, is it not? Okay. Maybe that was a mistake then, because now I'm down 2 pawns for a bishop. But the rook can't move right now. Oh, and I still can't take that pawn because of this. Okay. Wake up, wake up, wake up. I can put an extra guard on my rook here. Or I could just take it. That's check. Then I can move my bishop. Okay, I think they had to do that. Now I need to get my bishop out of danger. And I don't have a lot of squares in which to get it out of danger. There's this. And this. So basically 2 candidate squares to get my bishop out of danger from this knight. Or I could guard the bishop here, which also protects against a back rank mate at some point. I don't think that's that bad. But I do have to watch out for these connected passed pawns. Well, one of them, this one is the only passed one. But it is right next to that. So I do have to watch out for that. Okay. I'm curious as to see what my blunders were here at the end of this. I think that's got to be my best move right now, doesn't it? Frustrating as that is. Oh, you know what? I'm noticing that my queen doesn't have any good moves along this diagonal. Because the pawn, the knight, and then if I put my bishop here, my queen's going to be running out of moves before long. Okay, I have to keep that in mind. You know what? I'm just going to go back and guard that bishop. My attack did not work out the way I'd hoped. I don't think that check's coming because my queen is guarding. That just trades a piece, and I'm up a piece. So I think this is good. At least I hope it is. Well, I said I thought that wasn't coming, but that just hangs a piece, does it not? Okay. And now I just move my bishop out of the way. Oh, and then I'm getting forked. Ah, well, that's no good. Okay. You know what, though? What if I just take it? Because if they take me, that's made. I think I can just take that pawn now. Okay. Yeah, Vin's not entirely incapable of playing this game. That guards against my mate threat, guards this pawn, guards this pawn, guards this pawn. But doesn't guard that one. Should I take that one? I don't see a good reason not to. But yeah, I do. If I take it, can't Vin just go there and then skewer this pawn through it? I can prevent that by moving this pawn now. No, but if he took my bishop or that pawn, I still have the mate threat here. So I think I can just take that bishop, take that pawn. Okay. Running out of spaces to move my bishop. I can adjust the positioning of my queen. To say here. And then line up on the queen. Maybe. I'm up 2 pieces. I should be able to beat this machine. If I give the check on d5, I would have follow-ups here or here, depending on which way the king moved. Also, I notice I'm aiming at this pawn right now. I think I should take the pawn. Should I take the pawn or give the check? The check is not a mate threat because the king can just move, and even if I follow with the bishop check, the king can continue to move. Or for that matter, go here, and even if I followed again, it can go here, and I don't think I have a mate threat there. But giving the check still gives me the option of taking the pawn and also getting the bishop away from there, because now I don't have the back rank mate threat, so the queen's free to move. Let's try that. See where the king goes. Okay, it goes there. I think I want to protect my bishop and give a check at the same time. That way my bishop's not out there on its own. Okay. Now, and I don't know if this is good or not, but I have this. And then we can queen trade after. And I'll have 2 bishops left. I should be able to win that endgame. Should be. I mean, I also have another check, but let's just do this. Okay. Should be able to win this endgame, right? Okay. I can permanently protect my bishop at any time now. I do need to move this bishop, however, and I need to get my king. I need to move my light squared bishop somewhere, but it can't go to those squares or those squares, so it can only go back. And this back looks slightly better because I can reroute it. I'm wondering if that's what I should do. I think that's what I should do. Okay. Although that blocks one of my pawns. But it gets my bishop out, which is what I need. I need my bishop on this long diagonal. Well, now that my bishop's cut off these squares, I need to put a pawn there to cut off that square. My bishop also cuts off that. How about that? And then I'm threatening this pawn directly. Okay. Yeah, that's too bad, guy, because I was going to move that bishop here anyway. And then this one was going to go down here and start knocking on the door of those pawns. So let me try that. Please tell me I'm able to clean up. I had a check there, but I didn't know about it for sure. I just know I want to clean up some pawns. Okay. I don't know if the check helps, but it does block that pawn. So I don't have to worry about that pawn anymore. And then here maybe? Because now he can't move that. He has to go to protect it. I think I should just leave that for now. Okay. The bishop is of no concern, correct? Takes the bishop, moves the pawn, moves a pawn. Yeah, I'm going to let the bishop go. Okay. That doesn't help a lot, I don't think. I guess I've beaten him. I just have to be careful. Can I go there? That's not a stalemate of any sort. And that just cuts him off, right? Is that best? Or is this check best? I think the check is best. Check. And then check. Okay. Maybe. Okay. And then, you know what? Let's just do it. That's also a check, and it clears off a pawn I don't have to worry about. And I ought to be able to do this with just my bishop and my queen, shouldn't I? Or should I just go get another queen? Let's do that. Oh, I should have moved it twice. That's embarrassing. Okay. Check. All right. Well, thank you for watching. I did win that. I'm going to pause this while I run the game review. Okay, we've run the game review, and it said I did have a blunder and 2 mistakes, but Vin had a blunder and 4 mistakes. Sorry, you can't see that on your end. I'm going to go forward to where it says my first mistake was right after Vin castled, and Vin already had a 1-point advantage. Is the eval bar not showing up here? There it is. Yeah. Vin already had a 1-point advantage here, and it was a mistake for me to push e4, it says. No, now it's saying Vin had almost a 2-point advantage after castling, and I hadn't even made a mistake yet. Move 10. What I should have done here was play h3 to either kick the bishop out or force it to trade for the knight. And I still would have been down 2 points if I had played that. Queen to e2 was also a move, but I would have been down 3 points. But instead I pushed e4, which was a mistake, and now I'm down nearly 4 points on the evaluation. But Vin moved the rook, which was a mistake. And then I blundered. My only good move here was to take e5. But I blundered by pushing forward, which I thought was a good move because of that pin. Okay. It's a blunder because it says Vin should have taken with the knight. That's what it says, and then I would have captured c4 with my knight. It says I would have just captured that would have been my best move next, even though this pawn is still defending. That's crazy. I would not have done that. Pretty much guarantee. I don't know what I would have done. I'm pretty sure if Vin had taken that, I would have captured with my pawn. Right? I have no idea why that's a blunder. But regardless, Vin blundered by doing that, and I did the right move by taking it back. And according to the game review, I was ahead ever. I think I would... Wait, I'm still not ahead? Sorry, why? This says I'm 2 points ahead, but the game review has me down right there. That's interesting. Okay. But on the... yeah, I think I was ahead after that. That was forced, right? Okay, that was a good move. That was one that I was curious about. I didn't know if that was a good move at all. Oh, yeah, I should have brought his queen over. Okay. And then what I did here was a mistake. What should I have done here? I should have played bishop to e7. Not that one. I should have let that one go and played this bishop here. Oh, to fork. Okay. I see why that's a good move. What did I do instead? I took the rook. It says that was a mistake, but I still had the advantage. They should have taken back with the king. They took back with the queen instead. I played my third best move, which was that. It said I should have put my bishop there. Then Vin made this mistake. Should have taken the bishop. I did my best move here. It honestly says Vin should have checked on f3. Okay. But Ven checked down there, which just gave me the piece. And then after that, it was fairly elementary. I just had to be really careful. Because I think I have been ahead this far against bots at this stage of the game and still lost. Okay. But my blunder was e4 and then e5. That was a mistake. And then my next move was a blunder. But it says Ven would have taken here. Why did the game review say I would have then taken that? That doesn't make any sense. That actually has me ahead. Did I read that wrong? Oh no. They would have taken here. On d4. And that's when it says I would have captured this pawn, but I know I would not have at that point. I would not have captured that pawn. I would have captured one of these pieces. Pretty sure. It says I wouldn't, though. Why not? What am I missing? I'm missing this. And this. And that. And now I'm just way down. I'm down a full piece. And I just... Okay. That's why e4 and e5 were mistakes, apparently. I certainly wouldn't have seen that sequence, and therefore have a hard time believing any opponents at my level would have seen it, but maybe it's instructive for the future. Thank you for watching. This has gone on too long.